All right, we're live. Okay, good afternoon. Sorry, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another video. We're just coming off a day after we lost 3-0 to United. So I'm with Liam again. What we're going to do is we're basically going to go into the game in like more depth. I guess it's like what's the word, like analysis type video. And we're also going to discuss what needs to change at Tottenham, what's going on right now, like what's going wrong for the club as a whole. Well, to us, I'm pretty sure we know what's going wrong, but how does it change? So we're going to start with the United game. I mean, uh, uh, I'm just saying the 4 cans of Stella really healed me up, but yeah, it just shows how much alcohol I need to put in my system after that performance. But and the worst thing is, I've seen us lose 3-0 to Palace. I was there when we lost 3-0 to Chelsea. But this is probably the worst performance of the season so far. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, I don't even know how to, if I could drink right now, I would. But it's to the point where fans are just, I'm sorry to say it, but we need to boycott. We really need to boycott. If I lived in England, I probably would have attempted to boycott or at least start something. But sadly, I'm from the US, which really sucks. But this club is just, we hear the same things over and over again. It's like, what are you going to do about it? Like, for the past 2 years, we've heard, oh, we're going to change this, we're going to change that.
Yeah, it's basically like Maguire, because you know how Maguire says like every time United lose, we need to stick together as a team. We need to do this, do that. All talk, but the players aren't showing it on the pitch. It's the same today. I'll tell you what, the Spurs admin. I'll tell you what. Who's running the admin? Daniel Levy. Because my God, what they posted today pissed me right off. So this morning, they posted a comment by Lloris saying, "This is not the moment to give up. We have to stick together. Just shush. Just shush. Just shush. Like, I don't care. Like, shut. Like, just shut up, innit? Like, all talk, no action. It's been the same story all season, and I've probably for the first time in about 7 years, we've looked void of ideas going forward. Because I'm pretty sure Jermaine Defoe was saying after the game on Sky Sports, the main goal for the Spurs team was to keep clean sheets because they could always because the Spurs side would always have energy going forward. So the main thing they worried about was to keep clean sheets. Fast forward 7 years, and we've got Harry Kane, Son, Lucas Moura, 2 of the best forwards in the world, or some of the best forwards in the world in our team. And we look void of ideas going forward. Yes, I know we're attacking a back 5 Man United, but even that, the tempo was so slow. Even when we were 1-0 down, there was no will or desire to get an equaliser. It was just for me, looking at the game as a whole, when we went 1-0 down, what's the word? From the players' perspective, the players' perspective, the whole aim was not to lose by more goals because they had no intent of going for an equaliser. And the main thing that interests me today was the fans' reactions to the substitutions. I mean, Liam, obviously yesterday we did a watchalong for the game.
I still can't wrap my head around. I still can't wrap my head around it about the substitutions.
Would you like to explain to us your thoughts on the subs? Because would you like to explain us your thoughts on them?
In all my years of supporting Tottenham, I've not seen 3 substitutions that could not affect the game. Why in the fuck would you substitute Dele Alli, who has shown all season once again that he can do nothing but be a piss take, and then And then, of course, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Bergwijn. I don't think he should have been booed by the fans, but the substitution. I mean, Bergwijn hasn't done garbage for us, and you sub off Lucas Moura. Really, Lucas has been
Yeah, I know.
probably one of our 3 best players this season, and you sub him off for Bergwijn. Really,
I'd say
and then
behind Son and maybe Romero, Lucas has been our third best player. I'd say behind Son and Romero this season. But yeah, but going back to what you said about the Lucas sub, even in the first half, we looked so bad going forward. Lucas was the only one who looked like had energy going forward, and you bring him off. So we're 1-0 down. We're chasing the game. If you're going to take off Lucas, okay, fair enough. I know he was injured, but bring on someone like Brian Hill who can at least create chances and want to
Bill was injured. That's why he wasn't on the bench. I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. I know he was injured, but from my perspective, if he was on the bench, sub on someone like Brian Hill who can actually impact the game and force United back 5 yards and we can start pressuring them. Instead, he brings on Bergwijn, who hasn't scored for 6 months, and we need a goal. We take off Lucas Moura, who can finish and create chances, probably our most efficient, our most efficient creator behind Son, I'd say, this season anyway. For Bergwijn, probably our least efficient creator. And what was the second sub? It was Skip for Ndombele. I don't get that at all. If you're going to bring Ndombele on, bring him on for Lo Celso because Ndombele is wasted in that defensive too. He's much more efficient in the cam spot. I know Skip had a poor game, but Ndombele in that position, don't get that at all. And the Dele Alli sub, what was the point of that sub? What was the point of that? I just don't get that sub whatsoever. What was Dele Alli going to do? Fucking Rue Hullichum and that. What was he going to do? Impact the game at all? But yeah, the goals. Ronaldo took his goal well. I'm pretty sure only Ronaldo could finish from there. It's a brilliant finish, to be honest. The second goal, Cavani's goal. First of all, the third goal, Rashford. That's probably the most easy goal I've ever seen in my life. Did you see the space he had? Who got the assist?
No, because
who got the assist?
Watched on the 70th minute because I just was done.
Yeah, and the last thing I'm going to talk about the United game is the fans' reactions. There were boos at half-time, boos at full-time, and boos in the subs as well. It's pretty obvious that the fans are not looking at the minute. There were chances of Nuno out 85th minute just before the third goal. Same with Levy out as well. It's toxic at the moment. And I'm just going to play something back real quick if I can find it. Just give me a sec.
I love how we boo, but don't do anything about it.
Why isn't the volume working?
An honor for me to address you, Spurs fans. I'm so happy to be here. And my promise to you, we're going to make you proud. We're going to make you proud.
So there you go. I've got no words now, right? And PC Matt, okay, let's just show this comment. PC Matt says Timo Werner, right? We've got Timo and Harry Maguire on here today, so lovely stuff. But it's clear and obvious the fans not liking Bruno at the minute. Bruno? I'm sorry. The fans are liking Nuno, not Bruno. The fans not liking Nuno at the minute. So after 10 games, we've scored less goals than Mohamed Salah in 10 games. We sit 8th in the league. Do you see us? I'm just saying, quick question. Do you see us getting any better?
No,
Not at all. No.
And I mean, I've stated with other fans and other group chats, if it takes a year of relegation for us to finally wake up as a club, then I'm fine with that. But I mean, in 2 years we've seen no changes. So I mean, what makes any of us think that things are going to change now? We've been in the same exact situation with Mourinho. We've been in this same exact situation now. So I mean, what's going to change?
Yeah.
I mean, if it takes us getting relegated for a year, fine. I'm fine with it. I mean, at the end of the day, it all starts with Levy, and it all starts with fucking Enoch, who needs to get the fuck out of this club. Because, I mean, we're in this shit show because of them, because of their decisions with the club. I mean, and also, I'm going to point out when we built the stadium, I know we needed a stadium, but why couldn't we just use less money and more infrastructure for the club? Like, it's not hard to we didn't need to build the stadium that we have because we wanted to show off. And what have we done? What have we done in the past 2 years that we've had the stadium? I mean, for God's sakes, to other fan bases, it's called the Toilet Bowl for a reason. And I mean, as a Spurs fan, I want to defend it, but surely I cannot, because I mean, what have Spurs fans been dealing with for the past 2 years? This same shit show we're in. So I don't think anything's going to change. I really don't, unless Levy and Enoch leave. So
that's a good point, actually, about the stadium, because I'm pretty sure we've done the same thing as West Ham. I mean, like West Ham's last season at what's it called, Upton Park, their old stadium. I think they got European football, and then they move to the London Stadium, and all of a sudden they collapse for 3 years. I'm pretty sure we're in a similar cycle, because West Ham's board are not really ambitious either. Let's be real. And because I remember that Burnley game when they lost 3-0, when they were 2-0 down, their fans started like throwing stuff at the board members and stuff. It's kind of funny to watch all the time as a Spurs fan, but yeah. But at the same time, that's just an example of like, us in a similar cycle. But that's a good point about the stadium, because after the Champions League final, we had the opportunity to spend the money we needed to spend to get the players we need to compete for next year. And instead, we spent all the bread on a stadium to make us like look good, I guess. Well, to be honest, I mean, the stadium is, in my opinion, the best stadium in Europe. But best stadium in Europe and a Conference League team playing in it. That's just how it is. I'd rather be a Champions League side and play in the Vitality Stadium than be a Conference League be a Conference League side and play in some massive big bowl of a stadium. That's unreal. But yeah, it's just lack of ambition. But anyways, we're going to move quick on to what needs to change. So we are running out of time here. So we're going to spend about 10 minutes on this topic. I mean, to be honest, like, it is pretty evident what's going wrong at Spurs. What needs to change, Liam? I know you've been itching to say this, to get this off your chest on your account and everything. Here's your opportunity.
Oh my God, where the fuck do I start with this? Well, of course, it starts with Daniel Levy and Enoch and our board, who have no ambition whatsoever. I mean, it's already shown year after year after year after year. Even though we made it Champions League final, that doesn't mean jack squat. I'm also going to go to another point with a lot of the fan base that goes into Spurs. There are a lot of fans that I realize live in the past and say, "Oh, our success was this. Our success was that." Do you really think clubs like Arsenal Man United, Chelsea care about that argument anymore? I really don't think so, because Arsenal, at least they spend money, and look how they're doing this year. They were sucking last year, and then now they're sitting fourth, fifth place, and now it's just like, and here we are sitting on eighth again, acting like we should be a bigger club. We're not we're a mid-table club, and people need to start waking up to that. We're not this European club anymore. We're not.
Yeah.
And I think the image of the fans saying, "Oh, we should be a bigger club than this." No, we're not. In fact, this is the worst I've ever seen Tottenham Hotspur in the 7 years I've been a fan. So, but no, it starts with Enoch and Levy, which both of them need to leave for us to succeed.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. So I'd say Levy and Enoch are one factor. Factor two, the manager, and this is why I was watching Arsenal. No, but this this is real though. I was watching Arsenal going against Leicester, and and the difference between Arteta and Nuno. Arteta's more energetic on the sidelines, like he's barking out orders. He's using all this like hand movement and stuff. Like he wants to, he wants to get behind his team. He's very energetic on the sidelines the full 90 minutes. Whereas Nuno just got his arms folded like this, just shouting random stuff. It just don't work. Like Nuno hasn't got the desire to turn things around. And true, like as much as I want him to go and as much as he needs to be sacked, some of the players you can't coach them.
Exactly.
Yeah, because some of the players you can't coach them. Let's be real. If Jose Mourinho can't do it, then who can? Name me a manager out there right now who can change it around. Mourinho is one of the most decorated managers in football history. I'd say he's top three. No, I'd say he's the third best manager in Premier League history, behind Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger. One of the most decorated managers in football. If he can't turn his mess around, then who can? It has to come down to the players as well, because some of the players, you can't coach them. And people talk about Pochettino coming back to Spurs. It won't work until you get Levy and Enoch out, and until you get because there's still a few deadwood players that got him sacked. There's still a few players in there. Like I know players like Sissoko and Danny Rose and Sergio Aurier, they've left the club. Fair enough. Big up Paratici to that one. But there's still a few players in there. Winks, Dele Alli's been poor under him in his last 2 seasons as manager, Pochettino. Winks, Dele, who else is there? I forgot who, but there's still quite a few players that need to be sold who are part of Pochettino's deadwood. It won't work if he comes back. It won't work at all. We'll just go back to square one and get battered everywhere we go, as people like to chant. But basically, we're stuck right now because no matter what manager comes in, things aren't going to change. And we saw that with Mourinho. So basically, we're fucked. Basically, we're fucked.
Word of the day.
But to finish off, I think Josh has told me this. If I've got to just go to private chat, according to Matt Law, a tier 1 journalist, Nuno is now on the brink of being sacked. Just 10 games in. Are Spurs turning into Watford or what? I mean, that was a very, that's a very brief manager spell. The Telegraph are reporting it. The Times are reporting it. Nuno is now on the brink of being sacked, and some options that can replace him. Paulo Fonseca. We was linked with him before Nuno came to Spurs. He was the former manager of Roma. And if we're getting slapped 3-0 by United with Nuno, Fonseca got slapped 6-2 with Roma against United. So how's that going to work out? And the other one is... It doesn't let me scroll up. Does it let me scroll up?
Is it a Conte or?
No, he's the Porto manager. Let me just search it up. I forgot his name.
Crap.
Yeah, one sec. I'm
No, not Porcel.
So the Porto manager is Sergio Conceição, whatever his name is. Sergio Conceição. He is the Porto manager. So those are the two current options that we could have. I go with Fonseca because right now all I want is an attacking manager. I don't care how many goals we concede. All I want us is to score goals, get that Ryan Mason type feeling back into like scoring goals. The reason I wouldn't take Ryan Mason back, fair enough, he did a pretty decent job under us. I'll give him credit for the last 7-8 games of the season, but he keeps playing Winks and Dele Alli. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't take him back. Winks and Dele are two players that need to go. We know that already. Keep Ndombele in the side. Keep Skip in the side because let's be honest, Skip has a big future. He's been good all season. Like I know he has had a couple really poor games. One of them was yesterday, but he's got a bright future. Don't play Winks, please. Don't play Dele Alli unless it's Conference League. Yeah, simple as that. So yeah, who would you take back? Because right now I'd say Fonseca, but what would you say?
Well, of course, my logical answer would be Conte, but Fonseca.
True, but why would Conte come to us?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
True, but why would Conte come to Spurs?
That is true. Very, very true.
There you go. I mean, Zidane's out there as well, Zinedine Zidane, but
Why?
at the same time, he's going to demand the same Conte demands, and Levy just doesn't want to work with Levy doesn't want to work with managers who demand higher funds, and we saw that with Levy not backing Poch after the Champions League final defeat to Liverpool. Yeah, to be honest, I'd say Fonseca. Oh my god! I swear to God, this Josh Brown needs to get off ASAP. He needs to. Didn't know Livramento or Werner would know so much about Spurs. You know what? For now, we'll keep this on there. Why not? To finish off. So in conclusion, we're basically screwed. The manager, what comes, things aren't going to change. Fair enough, we could play more attacking football, which could bring like more excitement to the fans. But nothing's going to change until Levy and Enoch are gone, which will probably be never. So great. But anyways, people, that's going to round off today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Our next watch along will be Everton next weekend, which is what day is that? That's Saturday or Sunday? He goes look like Werner. Bro, everyone's saying you look like Timo Werner. Look, he does look like Werner quite a lot.
Everybody thinks I'm his. Even my own teammates think I'm his long lost twin or something like that. I'm from the U.S. I'm not German here, boys.
So this has been Harry Maguire, and this has been Timo Werner. All I'm saying, according to Josh, Enoch is 81 years old. So piss off, old man. But yeah. Okay, hang on. We're getting some comments here. PC Matt says, "What's the Twitter of Liam? I've got to share his pics."
Let me get him. Let me get him for you.
Is Liam going to get his Twitter up? Oh, hang on.
You want to share my Twitter? That's fine. Max, he can post it in the description.
Josh says,
"Do you like Josh? No, not."
And this guy says there are a lot of Germans in the US, Liam.
Well, the thing is, I don't
Are
even
you
have
half German?
family. I'm Irish and French, so I might look like someone, but I'm definitely not German.
Oh, so 9. All right. People, that's going to round off for today's episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. The next watch along, as I said, will be. I think the next game is Everton away, so we will be doing a watch along for that, considering the fact that it's an away game. Unless you want us to do a watch along for T's game at home, if you want that, let us know in the comments or let us know on our Instagram. The DMs, we're active on there, and there's also FA Cup on us. Don't worry, Yeah. So the Everton game is, I think, before the Leeds game at home. I think it's an international break. And then Everton Sunday, is it? Yeah. Yeah. So Sunday at
Okay.
2 o'clock. Everton away we're playing. So maybe we'll do a watch on for that. Let us know in the comments. But hope you guys did enjoy, and we'll see you next time.